All right, so welcome coaches, creators, and consultants. If you guys have questions, by the way, drop them in. If you've ever asked, what should I include in my offer? How much should I charge? And how much do I make? How do I make it sell like crazy? This lesson is going to be your answer. Today, I'm going to walk you guys through research-backed formulas, timeless principles, and rules of thumb you can use to craft, price, and present a coaching or agency offer that makes people want to buy, either on WAP, on Instagram, or just if you're doing cold Instagram DM outreach. This is where science meets strategy. I guess it doesn't like me when I do that. Can I go like that? All right. Every point will be backed by behavioral studies, proven examples, and made dead simple to apply across niches like fitness, dating, trading, coaching, design, anywhere you guys are trying to sell your outcome, right? So it could be a social media marketing agency, it could be a fitness program, a trading program, whatever it's going to be. This homework and this assignment, that gets this lecture more than anything else will apply in any realm of endeavor that you guys are at online, because there's so much money online. You can make money doing anything, guys, right? So I'm going to show you a universal formula and strategy to put your stuff in front of people and make them actually want to buy it. Let's build an offer that converts like clockwork. So we're going to get into part one, the 3 laws of offer psychology. Offer 1 is sell the transformation and not the time. A Harvard study shows offers framed around transformation are 4 times more likely, 4 times, guys, more likely to convert than those framed around hours or sessions. Stop pricing what you do in terms of hours, unless you're mowing lawns or something like that. Even if you're mowing lawns, guys, and you're not even online, just still price. Do you want the lawn mowed or do you not want it mowed? Then you guys are priced. If you can work harder and get their lawn mowed faster and you still do it right, then that's a win-win for everyone. You want to stop pricing around time. And if you are, then just charge as much as you can. Okay, that's the goal. Because we really don't want to be working on the clock. The formula is outcome plus time frame plus emotional hook. All right. So launch your high ticket coaching offer in 30 days, even with 0 followers. This is kind of the inverse of what I tell you guys and what I coach on to put in your Instagram bio. You'll see something like, I help blank do blank without blank. This is, you can do this in this amount of time, even with this. So it's kind of like an adaptation of that, but it's slightly different. So this is going to be what you like sell to people, but what goes into your Instagram bio is more of a definitional point, right? Of who you are, so you can introduce yourself. Don't sell 4 calls a month. Nobody gives a shit, right? Sell the journey, the finish line, and the identity change. Who are you going to become making it through this 6-week high intensity interval training program? Law number 2, anchor with value and not price. Price is scary when it lacks a point of comparison. So you need to use value anchoring. Like I said last week, guys, and this is going to apply to our pricing lesson a lot. If you price only based on how much other people are pricing and you're just playing the comparison game, think about gas stations, guys, right? Like, how much does a gas station owner really control his business, right? Because the person across the street drops it 5 cents, everyone goes to them. So you need to prove a way that your value is different. And sure, gasoline, it's not like you're comparing grades or anything that often, but so maybe not the best example, but I mean, think about an industry like that where you're being like everyone else. You need to find a way to be different and to point that out. So use something like value anchoring. The system adds $10,000 plus in revenue for most clients. Our done with you package is $2,500. I'm going to break into the difference of done with you, done for you, and stuff like that, and I'll show you how we actually apply it. This aligns with Dan Ariely's decoy effect study. The presence of a higher reference point makes the core offer feel like a deal, right? If I said this program is going to be $10,000, usually you're like, shit, I got to afford $10,000. Do I have $10,000 liquid that I can pay this guy? Then you're like, well, it's all right, because I'm only going to do it for $4,500. And you're like, oh, thank God, I know I have $4,500. That's still a lot of money, but like to them, it feels a lot like a better deal than just saying right out of the pocket where it's going to be $4,500. Does that make sense? Should be very, very basic lesson, guys. You don't have to go to college to know that. But I did actually relearn that in college, even though I've been an entrepreneur for quite a few years. Law number 3, people buy certainty, not possibility. Your offer must reduce doubt and increase confidence. Backed by Duke University's placebo pricing study, people rate higher price solutions as more effective when clarity and expectation are high. Higher price solutions are more effective, guys. So when you charge low, people assume the quality is going to be worse, even if you're still just as good and trying to get a better deal and try to reach out to more people. You actually hurt yourself by charging less for that reason a lot of time in service-based industries. So the formula, proven process plus a timeline plus support is equal to the confidence level. I know if you guys aren't writing this down, I would highly recommend it. Again, it's going to be on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please write this down. And especially this next sentence here, so you can apply it to your own business. But when you're building your offer, the email, the store page, this is what you put right above your package. Or maybe you list the package name and this is the subheading. All right. So this will be like your line 2, the second line. The 4-week, no guesswork launch plan, plus 24/7 support, community, plus clear weekly milestones. All right. So that's the proven process, is the 4-week no guesswork launch plan, which, you know, people know by name at this point, plus the timeline, which is going to be like the weekly milestones, and then the support is going to be your 24/7 support community. They just worded it backwards in this case, but it's still accomplishing all those things. And then it reassures people. That's what builds confidence, right? Because, you know, kind of, I'm not going to go too deep into this because we have more to cover, but you basically, you know, it's a name brand thing. It's the no guesswork launch plan. So you've clearly spent time packaging it in a way that makes sense. So they know you've at least thought about the plan, and it's not just a rush thing you're putting together. Plus, they know they're getting support if they're not sure of what that is. And they know that it's laid out clearly, which a lot of people in service-based industries, they'll pay money and then you guys will take a day or two to start coaching them or doing your service. And they're like, well, shit, did I just pay for a scam, or are they actually going to deliver? But if you show them beforehand, this is what the plan looks like, then they're like, okay, well, I'll just chill out until they want to start getting this service done. Clarity converts, confusion kills. That's the big line here. I don't know if I can even I'm gonna go in and highlight this. I'm probably on YouTube. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, I'll probably throw this slide deck in here too, or this note slide, so you guys can see this and review it yourselves. Part 2 is the 5-part formula to build any offer. So, all right, we just went through part 1, which is essentially the 3 laws of how psychology works behind it. Now we're going to get into how to actually do it, okay? Because I can't just lecture at you all day. I actually need to give you actionable advice. So no matter your niche, you can build an elite coaching or agency offer using this research-backed model. All right, this is, guys, this is college level stuff. This is what doctorates in marketing and consulting have taught me, that I've directly applied through capstone projects and then in the real world with my business. I'm saving you guys from paying thousands of dollars for an advanced degree to learn this stuff. So it's definitely gonna be worth your time to stick through this next section here. No matter your niche, you can build an elite coaching or agency offer with this model. First, the outcome statement. You have to tell people exactly what you're gonna do for them, or they don't care. Like if they think, oh, he's gonna help me get in shape, what does that mean? You have to be specific about what you're going to deliver. Okay, so who is it for? Plus, what do they want? Plus the time frame, plus without frustration. So this is going to be almost exactly like we said before, what goes in your Instagram bio. For freelance designers who want to double monthly revenue in 60 days without relying on platforms like Fiverr, okay? So you can kind of word this if you already did the Instagram bio statement, which we did last week. Like for instance, mine says, I help blank. I help entrepreneurs or content creators start a online coaching business without trying to figure it out themselves, right? Without this other complication that other people in this niche that you're paying would have paid their prices for are still going to make you struggle with. They're going to make you do it yourself. They're going to make you figure out all these advanced things when you just don't need to, okay? So for freelance designers, we did that. Okay, so the signature framework, part 2 of this, is going to be create a 3 to 5 phase system. I know it's cheesy, guys. I know the ACE framework, or the whatever you call it, the Cardone method, or it could be your last name. It could be we actually came up with the Ascend method, which is, again, cheesy, but it makes complete sense of how you can take a brand start to finish. I have a YouTube video of that out on my channel. It's like 30 minutes and I paid a crap ton of money to edit it in a way that was very presentable. So go to my YouTube and check that out if you have it. But you need to create some sort of process, right? Humans love structure and systems. If there's an acronym they can remember tied to your brand, then they're going to start associating you with being an excellent source of that. And guys, don't overlook this. I know it just seems like a small point, but if you can teach a method, then and you can label it after something that's vital for them to remember and implement every day, then you're gonna go a huge way. Like this, the profit method. Position first your offer, then reach, then present an offer, then funnel them through, and then impact them with your services, and then finally test and improve your the way you do things, essentially, right? That's the profit system, without taking 30 minutes to explain that. Number 3 is going to be clear deliverables. So now, again, we've covered what we do, then we've covered our process and what we're going to actually coach people on. And these 2 things are going to be primarily this is what gets people into a sales call, And then this is what gets people through a sales call. So they know, again, going back up to this confidence statement, that you actually have a proven process. And I guess the timeline can kind of be in that too. So the clear deliverables are how you follow through on this system. So how do you actually measure? How do you measure impact, right? So you need something to either say we did a good job here, or we did it. Otherwise, people aren't going to keep paying you for your service. Does that make sense? Right? So you need to have a clear system with clear outcomes. So I use the 3x3 model. What that looks like is using 3 core deliverables, so calls, templates, and access. And I'll show you guys how this works in a minute. And then 3 bonus assets, such as audits, libraries, and community. But you want to avoid like just feature stuffing, right? People can tell, and they're very good BS detectors, if you're just clearly going through and offering like stuff just to make it seem like there's a bunch of fluff, that like an ebook, right? You'll see like 50 ebooks that they just like downloaded or had chat GPT write up that didn't really take much time, but they just put that in there so they can charge more. You don't want to be doing that. It needs to be high impact things that you're primarily priced around, that they can see the clear value. And we talked about that last week on the pricing lesson. So review that. I'm still dying from the gym, so I appreciate you guys hanging on there. All right, so number 4, define the time frame. First, you need to pick one. So with the deliverables, how long is it going to take you? And this comes more from experience. So if you were, let's say it's probably going to depend for each client, honestly, because like, let's say you're a fitness coach and somebody wants to get down to 6% body fat and they're at like 25%. Okay, it's going to take that person a lot longer than the person that's at 8% body fat. All right. So you need to design it based on who the person is, but have kind of a rough idea for almost anyone. Some basic milestones they can get from coaching, right? So maybe it's like have a actionable, trackable fitness dieting plan to go with your fitness plan that you are fully implementing within 3 weeks. And that's probably easy depending on whatever their goals are. You can probably at least accomplish that. So you could do like, I call these are the 3 terms I use to really determine the time frames around things. So I call things a sprint if it's about 4 weeks or less. So a lot of times we'll do things in our community here, especially our paid community. If you guys are members of the paid community, we actually just came out with a month-to-month fee instead of the $200 something one-time fee for lifetime access. We now have a month-to-month subscription if you guys like that. And then so you can join, and we'll do like paid challenges. We'll pay you guys to participate and just like work on your own brand, so it's a win-win. And then we also do transformation, which is kind of like what my agency offers, where we work in a long time extended period with just 1 or 2 people on a paid basis. And you get to know their problems, you design a customized strategy for them, and then you're actually implementing that. And then that's going to be kind of like a slightly high ticket, right? Your kind of entry level high ticket. And then this is going to be like your massive projects, your full life cycle. And full life cycle compared to transformation means you've not just like identified their problems and gave them basic actionable steps, but you're going to continue working with them until that problem is solved, and or other problems do show up. You mitigate those as well. So by the time they're done with 6 months, their life has changed forever and they probably never need to work with you again. Okay. So this is like a permanent fix. This is like teaching you how to change your life, and then hopefully they're trained enough where they can carry that on. And then a sprint is just like emergency, right? Like we're fixing a bad problem, getting you back on track, but we're not going to work together more than that. Behavioral studies show people commit more to finite timeframes rather than open-ended services. And that makes sense, right, guys? So you're going to be paying for 4 months. You kind of do the budgeting ahead of time. Can I afford 4 months? I don't know what my situation is going to be more than like 8 months out, right? I might make a lot more money. I might be pretty tight. So it's we want to know roughly how long it's going to take to get our thing done. So make sure you're always clear about that on the forefront. Number 5 is going to be tangible milestones. So include 3 checkpoints within the program. I'm trying to make sure my mic is connected, guys. Sorry. We are good. Okay. Include 3 checkpoints in the program. So week 1 is going to be a clarity call plus a roadmap delivered. Could be like the first one. Week 4 could be like the second checkpoint. Launch system is complete, meaning we've done everything we need to. We got I just like using fitness coaching. Let me use something else, like a dating plan, right? So like we have like an outreach plan designed for you to go out and like meet people to get your dating profile fixed. And you know exactly how many conversations you're supposed to be striking up. You know how much practice you're supposed to get talking to people or texting people each day. And you know exactly how many women or men or whatever you're going to go out and talk to. And then week 8, maybe like if it's a 12-week program, you want 3 clients signed if you're like a dating coach, right? So something like that. If I'm working with you guys, it's going to be something like that. If you guys are the actual dating coach, it could be like 3 outcomes made, like, and that could be like specific to your industry. I'm just kind of giving you guys like a blanket example, but I did tailor this to my own business, which I'm obviously one level above you guys because I'm coaching the coaches and then you guys are coaching people. Because I'm a consultant and that's my side of things. This increases stickiness, which means how long people stick through it, as well as stick around to actually participate and get value out of it, and perceive momentum. So on the front end, how long, if people can see that there's a big milestone coming up week 8, then they're going to want to start week 1 as soon as possible because they really want week 8, right? So if you can see and put it in a logical way how that's going to happen, then they're going to be a lot more eager to stick through it. All right, part 3 comes down to the science of pricing, or rules of thumb, essentially. So I'm going to get through, let me scroll up a second because I need one more drink of water. All right, so I'm going to show you guys exactly how to take these solutions and tailor them to your specific business. How do we apply this across any niche, whether you are a social media marketing agency, again, you're a dating coach, maybe you're a golf instructor, maybe you teach violin or piano, or you're I'm trying to think, crypto, like community focused, whatever it's going to be. I'm going to show you guys some way to implement this for you. And then Thursday, obviously, will be the lesson that we go through and do it. So the rule of 10% ROI pricing. Price your service at 10% of the outcome you create. And I know this is hard, so it's going to get hard and subjectively hard to value this for different industries. So that's why obviously it matters what kind of niche you're in from the first place. I'm going to show you something deep here. This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I want you guys to realize something. Open link in new tab. I want to just open this. Okay. Depending on your niche, right? Human beings typically need things in this order. So you're not going to care about love and belonging until you have air, water, food, shelter. And this is almost kind of in order too, right? So like air, water, food, shelter, then sleep, then clothing. That's kind of the order of like preference. And then you move up to safety. You kind of walk through those. You go through love and belonging. And obviously you guys are like, well, why is it so hard to start a consulting business and to help people transform their lives as men or women or anybody that's in this free community? You guys are already, that's a great sign that you're in this community or that you're watching this on YouTube, because that means you're probably in this green or up to blue. You're looking at freedom, you're looking at status, you're looking at respect, and then desire to be the most you can be. That's all consulting, guys, because you've already proven you can take care of these other things. You probably have resources. You're probably in the right spot where you can even look at starting a business or have time to do it. And then these two come into play when you start working with a community like ours. It means you're reaching the highest echelons of life, and you need to continue that trajectory. But on the marketing side or the bundling side, if you guys were a dating coach, let me just be honest, reproduction is really the goal of dating in a lot of cases. And so reproduction is a physiological need. And so compared to something like golf lessons, right? Which is more like a sense of connection. Maybe it's like a social thing you do. Or maybe it's I don't know, it's like trying to think of another way to connect it here. Maybe like friendship, right? It's where you meet people, or maybe it's a status thing, right? Golf is maybe like a higher tier thing, or maybe like music lessons too, right? It's kind of like an individualization, like a artistic thing here. So it's probably a bit higher up on the chain versus dating, right? You guys want to, I'm going to be honest, you guys want to reproduce. So we're just human beings at the end of the day. So a dating coach, thinking backwards, can charge higher for their service because their desired outcome is pushed lower toward this bottom end. But that's not it, guys. I'm going to challenge you with one other way of looking at this. If you can market your service in a way that pushes it down to physiological needs or something like safety or physiological, that's going to have a much higher approach. And I'll give you an actual real world example. Think of someone like Andrew Tate. He talks about self-actualization all the time. So this would be very hard to market if he didn't do it in the way he did, because he talks about things like, okay, well, every man should be able to protect himself. What if people come up and try to like attack you or your partner? You need to be able to defend yourself. You need to get in shape and you need to be strong, which he's talking about safety and physiological needs. Like I guess that's more like safety probably. Actually, I would probably put it down there. Maybe like maybe reproduction if he's talking like dating stuff too. But he's able to tie these higher outcomes to a lower level desire need or basic need. So that way people can see the value of why his real world community or whatever is worth it. And again, I'm tying it down here because you guys essentially need money, right? So if you're in this community or the paid community, you're learning how to make money, which is covering, I would say, before even physiological, you have money, because money really does all of this stuff now, except maybe air, right? Maybe sometimes water, you could, or sleep, you could technically get those on your own. You could probably argue you get any of these on your own, but money's going to make all of these a lot easier to shoot up the chain. It's kind of like the steroid, right? To get you to the top faster. If we're focused on making money, that's gonna make this journey easier, which is why it's attractive to you guys to be in this community. But does that make sense? I kind of went on a tangent there, but I want to be very, very clear about why you need to package your offer a certain way. So if you can price your service at 10% of the outcome you create, and again, sometimes like dating, you can't measure that outcome, but you do know that the outcome of dating is a lot higher than golf lessons. So you can assume the value of your service compared to a golf coach is going to be relatively higher. Does that make sense? So you look at relative value when you're doing things like that. If you guys are joining our community right now, thank you guys for all this. I see you all joining. So I'll answer your questions in the chat after this. If your work helps someone make or save $20,000, 2,000 becomes a no-brainer. And guys, a lot of times, depending on the type of service, this could be up to 20 or 30%. Like sometimes I've even seen up to 50%, but 10% is across any niche, because I'm trying to help everyone at once. It's kind of a rule of thumb that's almost a guarantee. So if you can, and it doesn't have to be like, you can't show the value of 20K, but if it's pretty obvious that having a dating or romantic partner could make an extra 20K of value in your life, because let's say you target the coordination of the right partner in your life has the highest correspondence to the level of success you'll have, rather than just your friend group or your diet or your fitness. But having the right romantic partner can drastically change how much money you make, and that's an actual fact. So you could say, well, having the right relationship to push you to the next level, would you say that's worth $20,000 in your life? Okay, well then why aren't you paying $2,000 to have this problem figured out? Does that make sense? So that's the source, Toptil and ROI-based pricing psychology. I'm including my sources in. I'll show you guys all my sources at the end, so you guys know I'm actually researched and a scholar instead of one of those just scumbag coaches who claims to know it all online when he really doesn't. All right, so expectation pricing principle is the second rule of thumb. The higher the transformation, and this kind of goes with the first one, the higher the expected price. So not just the outcome, but the actual transformation. So in health or wealth markets, you can look at your income before and after, or you can look at your fitness before and after. And clients expect to pay more because these health and wealth, this is health, and wealth is, like I said, probably the level 0 or the exponential grower of these. If somebody can take care of your fitness and your health, that's going to allow you to never have to worry about this red again, which means your life is automatically elevated in tiers. And if you have a higher amount of wealth and you can make money easier, you can also shoot up this ladder faster. Okay. So people expect to pay more because those are valuable changes in their life. Compared to something like esteem, right? If you're like a mindset coach, it's really only for people that have a ton of money to spend in the first place. Otherwise, you just scroll online for free content to help your mindset, which I do put out now. But essentially, like, that's not going to be as high of a value because it applies to less people and you don't need it as much. So don't undercut yourself though, or you're triggered out, with your potential audience. The next rule of thumb, I will, so again, these aren't really actually actionable steps, but this one should be. So the tiered value ladder strategy. I want you guys to base every offer that you make. So let's say you're on WAP or Kajabi, or maybe you're just pitching offers in the DMs. What you want to do is base it on the suite, right? So we talked about this last time, but if you're entry level, and again, this can be more of you can do like an itemized list of the different services and price it on that, or price it just based on your experience. If you're entry level, core, or premium, or like beginner, moderate, or advanced kind of thing, or if the service is this, or this, then I would probably charge within these ranges. So entry level is going to be like low ticket. What it could also look like is if you have a community and it's not very oriented to your service, then I would charge between 50 to 150 bucks a month if they're also getting your time with it in any way. If it's a mid-tier transformation, I'll give you examples of these, right? Low ticket would be like entry level would be something like, I'm going to send you guys I'm going to I'm gonna do weekly community meetups to talk about dating and give you guys just general relationship advice. And you get access to that community for a month. That'd probably be like an entry level service. Mid tier would be something like this, where it'd be you'd also offer some sort of transformation as well as some follow through on that. So that'd be like private one on one coaching lessons where you can meet directly with that person and they're gonna come up with an action plan tailored to you. Premium would be like high support or done for you, which would be something like what we do, which is like where we will actually go build your funnel, we'll handle your actual advertising, we will set up, design ads, and run meta ad campaigns, influencer marketing to grow your personal brand and shoot you up the chain. So you get this massive credibility and you get this massive personality and brand build on social media by other people recognizing you as a source rather than trying to post 300 posts and figure it out yourself. So we're basically doing all the work to make anybody that has a camera and a face a full-time influencer. And you can sit on your couch and just like hold a camera up and be famous because we do everything for you. And that's a very valuable service. So we're going to make it high ticket. So use the good, better, best principle from HBR to guide clients to the middle where your best results live. So the last or second to last, I think this is the last one. Yeah. It would be like the price elasticity code test. And I have different examples: fitness coach, trading, and dating coach, as well as freelance services, just because these are some of the biggest niches that work in my community and operate. So if you're a fitness coach, let's get through the rules first. Actually, I'm skipping ahead. But if 80% say yes to your offer without hesitation, I want you to raise your price. And if 80% hesitate and ghost, refine your messaging. All right, now hesitate and ghost doesn't mean like they offer any objections. Everyone's always going to have objections when you're pitching them a sort of value, and it a lot of times just means you haven't been clear enough yet. So that does come with experience. But hesitate and ghost means like they really do honestly think you're charging too much money, or you're not delivering enough value to match how much you're charging. Okay, so if that's happening, refine your messaging. And what that looks like on the sales call or in the DMs is like, I just don't think it's the best time for me. I don't know if this is necessarily the right program for me. They'll say things like that. And if you push on it and they still double down, then and they're doing that 80% of the time, then I would look at your value. Pricing is dynamic. You always need to test it and let data decide. But again, with that said, don't be afraid to charge what you think you're worth and put it into the real world and get some experience. But again, I would recommend at least 5 people you talk to before you drastically change your price. That way you can actually get 80%. Do 4 people out of the 5 say yes, or do 4 out of the 5 say no or more? Because then you need to do one of these 2 things. And if it's 3 or if it's 2, you're probably still fine. That means it's just normal market wear and tear. And some people are just, not cut out for it. That just means you need to qualify your leads a little bit better. But you're always going to have no's, all right? So don't let that deter you. But that's kind of the basic Pareto principle, 80%, 20% rule. All right, let's get into the niche by niche. This is probably going to be applicable to you. And we're going to get into this on Thursday, so just let this be the content-based lesson. But if you're a fitness coach, let's say your outcome that we talked about way up here. So if you're a fitness coach, lose 10 pounds, so make it specific in 6 weeks without, what is other programs doing that you're not? Restrictive dieting, okay, which is what people hate. So maybe you have like some weird keto thing, or like you have a high metabolism hacking program that's going to help them exceed better than others. The framework is the safe method, the sleep, activity, food, and execution method. And again, ideally, it's better if you have your own method, because then that's what makes it different from other people. You're not just using the same method. And then what it comes down to is who has more experience then. And if you're new, that's never going to work out in your favor. So if you have your own method and people like your method, other coaches probably aren't doing that method then because you came up with this method. And then they'll want to go with you instead. And then pricing, let's say it's $9.97 for mid-tier or $19.97 for high support. What that could look like is if it's mid-tier, it could be weekly coaching plus a meal tracker plus workout tracker, and then I will refine your workouts and take my time to do that every single week. If it's $19.97, what it could be is I do all that stuff plus we have a individual support expert, like a virtual assistant that I have working for me, doing all that for you. And additionally, I'm like, you can send me videos of your workouts, and I'm gonna live tailor my feedback and like give you tips to help perform better lifts or something like that. Like I'm going to take more time to do it essentially. That's just an example. It doesn't have to be that exact plan. Again, they're using the 7. It ends in a 7, so that way it feels a little bit more customized. Just another pricing psychology hack that we talked about last week. Trading mentor can say go from random entries to 3R setups in 30 days. All right. So if you're a trading guy, you'll know exactly what that means. I'm speaking to you. The framework could be cash, so charting, analysis, strategy, habits, which habits is a big thing in trading, guys. The trading coaches I work with only really cover charting and analysis, but they don't talk about your strategy and your habits enough. Like, what are you doing as a person to not get psyched out when the trade isn't performing? Because that's what a lot of times makes you panic sell or makes you decide to double down because you get too risky and then you blow it. And the strategy relies heavily on your habits. So the pricing could be $149 per month for a group. The most common thing you're going to see with this is like signals in the trading chats. So people say, I'm entering this stock at this price or this option at this price. I'm going to sell it at this price. $2,000 could be like, I sit down with you while you trade for like a week or 2 weeks out of the month. And then we go over and you're just in my live stream and you do the exact same things I'm doing. And we practice your trading and I'll look through your journals or something like that too. Dating coach, book 3 dates a week in 6 weeks. All right. So that could be your outcome. So again, all of these are very specific, you see. The framework is attract. So model, it could be awareness, texting, tone, reach out, appearance, confidence, and timing. I just came up with that, guy. I've seen this before. I've seen all of these before, which is why I'm using these examples, but just use kind of whatever works for you. Come up with your own strategy. You can use ChatGPT, guys, if you've never done this before. Pricing can be $500 for do it yourself. Like maybe you have a whole course pack that covers all of these. In dating, it's a lot more dating can be a lot more situation based because people are different, right? And you're not just teaching how to do chart analysis, but you're teaching how to outreach to a specific person. So a lot of times it's going to be more like higher ticket for done with you because your knowledge really does matter a lot more. Because if you're talking to a very like emotional partner, right? Versus like someone that's very level headed, the dating coach has to be really good at picking that up and their expertise matters a lot more. But it's also not a hard entry thing because everyone has experience dating usually. And so dating coaches are pretty good with this stuff. But still, they have a ton of credibility and expertise from what I've seen. Shout out to Jeremy if you're watching this right now. I got a call with you on Thursday. Freelance service could be get 5 new clients in 45 days. And this is just anything, guys, right? It's like I'll make your ad graphics. I'll do your social media marketing. Maybe I have the Flare framework. So funnel, lead, authority, reach, and execution. I'm going to help improve your client outreach by fixing these 5 things. And so we're going to audit it. We're going to give you a customized plan, and it's going to cost $1,200 for the next 45 days, so the next month and a half, and we'll do everything for you. And then after that, you have the option to pay for bi-weekly or monthly, right? It's going to be like maybe $600 a month from that point forward, and we'll keep auditing it and we'll keep improving it, and you can just do what you do for coaching. Okay, so if you guys are in my business and not the coaching business and you consult, that might be a good way to build out your offer. All right, because I know I'm not just teaching coaches in here, I'm teaching people that do what I do as well. Finally, platform formulas, so like WAP and DM flow. We're almost to the end of this. This is the bottom, but let's finish this up. So WAP, I'll show you what I mean in a second because I'll show you my actual WAP communities, but transformation headline. Next, we have the tiered offers. So like 3 levels at least, right? Basic, intermediate, advanced. And if you guys think of like a movie theater, right? Most people don't buy the medium drink. They either buy the small or large, or the small is just in there and it's priced super high. So that way the medium drink feels like a great steal, right? So a lot of times, like, you don't plan on actually pushing all of these offers and maybe only one is your primary offer, but you're going to use pricing psychology to make it look good. So if you want people to go into your highest level price, then you're going to put your low and your medium really close to each other and then not have very much in there. And then your high ticket is going to have all the features. So people really want to get a lot extra value doing that. Bulletproof features, that's very easy to set up on WAP. I think I'm just going to show you guys the actual, like, how this looks. If you're on the page here, you can see our low, medium, and high ticket offer. Technically our low offer is free, so that's why you guys are in our community right now. And then like we just said on here, have bullet point features. Don't have these massive paragraphs and like full video breakdown things, even though we do. But I mean, like, don't have this like 45-minute call explaining all the features. We have like a 1.5-minute call up here that explains exactly This video explains exactly what's in each level of our community, and it's different for each community. You'll see it changes up here. And so I recorded separate ones to advertise those, and you can see the difference, right? So we talked about do it yourself, done for you. The agency is done for you. We do, let me go backwards to explain this first. So do it yourself means we give you guys all the coaching. You have all the courses. I break down every single topic you need to start a coaching business or an agency, and it's 25 bucks a month. We just added it to 25 bucks a month, and then you have a OM fee. I don't know why it's lagging so much. All right, well that just lagged. But anyway, we have a month-to-month fee. Sorry if you cut out there, but this is kind of our main offer. We want you guys to participate in this one the most. Very few of you are going to be qualified. So the people that do work with our basically, I'll do kind of a mini promotional thing here, but essentially, let me share my screen again. So the inner circle is for people that want me one-on-one. I will literally help you guys build your business, but it's going to be done with you. I'm not going to do the work for you, but I'm going to show you exactly what to do. I'll even probably get on the call and literally tell you as we go through it. What's up, Cotton Eye Joey? How's it going? I'm going to tell you guys on the call exactly what to do and what to implement in your business or with your service. That way you guys can make more money. And basically you get you get a weekly call with me, right? At 600 bucks a month. I mean, think of the value too. I'm painting out the value with this, right? Because you guys, let's say we can add 5 grand in like 2 months, right? That's $1,200, but you just made an extra 5 grand a month with your service because I know how to do that. And I show you guys exactly what to do to make it happen in pretty much any niche. I've done it so many times that I could do it with my eyes closed. Except I do need to see the screen share. So that would be, harder to do that. All right. So if you guys work with me in the inner circle, that's basically what happens in there. It's obviously a lot more expensive because you're paying for my time as well as my expertise from having done this, my college degree, my consulting experience, my multiple years of e-commerce, other businesses that I've sold off to investors and have experience at every single level. All the clients that I've worked with and their testimonials are paying for all of that experience to know that I can actually do this for you. But I think most of you guys want to join this basic community, which is do it yourself. I have all the courses so you can get my knowledge. It might not be specific to your business, so it's going to take a little bit of inferring to know what to do for you, but it is broken down. You get $5,800 plus of premium step-by-step courses on the exact technology software and everything you guys need to do to implement. And we have weekly Q&A. So if you guys do have questions, Anthony and I are still there to answer all of it. And then you get networking and everybody that's inside this community, which currently there are not here. There we go. There's 378 people in here. All right. So you guys get to network with all those people. They're in for a lifetime if they paid the one-time fee, or if they're month to month. You guys can meet all these other coaches or agency owners and start connecting. You can shout each other out on social media. You can advertise for each other. You can start making money, and that happens a lot. But obviously, I want you guys to join this one, so I have it weighted a lot more toward the free offer, which is the free course that you guys are watching this on. Inside of our WAP community. Link is in my bio for any of the social media. And you guys get basically just the mindset side training, which we're coming out with right now. And then you can also make money doing content clipping or just on these free live streams. You can get a lot of information out of that too. But obviously, this is a lot more value, and it's worth 25 bucks a month to learn all that stuff. So we obviously have that in the middle, and it's weighted toward the low end. And that kind of weeds out all the people that do this that aren't actually serious. So I know that the people that do sign up for that, and there's a 30-day trial right now that you guys could do this for a month, and I'll meet with you on 4 calls for free, essentially, just to get a testimonial, which I'm offering for the last 4 spots. But we only qualify like the highest end people for that. And then finally, so we just want milestones. So what happens during that program? So once you guys pay for the inner circle side of things, as soon as you get in, I meet with you on a call and I explain what's going to happen. And we'll tailor that to your specific business. And then obviously we have the high end service, which is the done with for you coaching model. So it's basically everything that's in here, plus we do everything. So we'll say, instead of just fixing your DMs, right? And this is like how you can automate like your DMs. We'll actually put someone in charge of like automating that process for you, putting someone in charge of your messaging maybe, or designing your ads. So you can just make a bunch of content. We'll edit it and post it for you if that's what you need. And we basically run your business for you while you sit on the beach and just put a camera in front of your face. And then obviously coach your clients or do whatever you need to do at the higher level. But this is like an automated business. So this is obviously pretty high ticket. But that's kind of like how that stuff is split up. but we make it very clear on WAP, which is why I'd love for you guys to use that platform and get good with it. If you're looking for a way to implement it yourself. And then social proof and call to action, WAP is also really good at that, which is why I love this. Because again, you see, I just set up. Let's go back to this one. You see 378 users. We just built this inner circle one back out, so it doesn't really have any credibility to show right now. But then it's 5 stars, 27 different reviews have given us this amazing, essentially trust pilot score that we can go out and claim way more members with. And then we just started a free network a few weeks ago. We already have 137 users in that as well. So that's your credibility and call to action. And obviously has the big, if you look at it as a visitor, WAP's great because it just says join. You just put in your email and you're basically in. It's very, very simple. You can use Apple Pay if you have to pay for it. But this is another example if you guys just want that. But we'll get to the end of this video because I know we're drawing on here and I don't want you guys to get bored here. So finally, the last part, this could be like a DM offer script. If you weren't doing this on WAP and you wanted to make all this stuff clear, these are the at least bare minimum messages I would send. So I taught you guys, what I do is I send a voice memo and then I also send a flyer of my services. And finally, I send like a link to book with me on Calendly. And you guys can see that from any of my other live streams, but those are the 3 things I send out. And if somebody replies to that, I would say, hey, are you working on growing something online or would you need help with that? If it's a dating coach, it could be, hey, are you looking for someone to give you some advice right now? Do you want some more actionable advice to try to turn that situation around for you? You could ask, what's been the biggest problem with that? What's like for me, I would ask, what's your biggest problem scaling your revenue in your coaching business? Like, what do you think is holding you back that we can help you with? So I know if you're going to be the best fit for just coaching, maybe you just need advice. Maybe you want our agency to do it for you. Maybe you just want to be in the free community, right? And then I say, well, sounds like this would fit for you, right? You pick the service that's going to be best for their needs. You say you want a 1-pager to check it out. You want me to send you the link for it. WAP's great because I can just send them the link. I don't need a whole breakdown. And then this reduces friction and delivers value really fast. The final part before our sources and we wrap it up is what are just some actionable tools to use? So offer stack images increase conversions by 21%. WAP is really great at this because you have this slider of different like graphics you can use to animate and display different things. I think we have a different graphic in this one too. Yeah, we got like this one. So yeah, we got a bunch of images and graphics that we have sent in that kind of help boost that credibility. Naming your method, like we said, we have the ascend method, increases authority. Adding instant access, like make it very easy to join, or even a welcome video or something like this. Introductory video. That's what produces value and lets people know that there's trust there that you're going to deliver. Highlight bonuses. So WAP does that really well. It's almost like they know this lesson already. They go down here. Here's exactly what you're going to get. I don't even show all of that stuff in there. I can't show every single app in there, but this one does better because these are the main things you get in the free community. If you're watching this, social proof. So that's like your reviews, your screenshots. You want to throw this as well on your Instagram page. Think of those highlight reels in your bio. Scarcity and urgency, limit spots, timers, or fast action bonuses. You guys see that right here. We only have 4 spots left in our inner circle and it's free. So you guys can literally get one of these spots off of this call and work with me for 30 days and I will bust my ass to serve you in any way I can. Hopefully you leave a testimonial in exchange, but I'm going to do that for my last 4 spots. And then you don't even need to pay this, right? You can just leave afterwards. But that's a limited time offer that creates urgency. So you guys are competing for those last 4 spots. They'll probably be gone in a day or 2. And then a guarantee, right? A 14-day refund or some sort of outcome assurance. You can also offer a trial like I am too, so you don't have to like give money back. So your next action steps before the end of this lesson, I want you to define your client outcome. Go way back to here and define this sentence that we talked about here. So who's it for? What do they want? What's the time frame? And without what frustration? So like for freelance designers who want to double monthly revenue in 60 days without relying on platforms like Fiverr. Or you could say something like, I help blank do blank without this problem. And that should go in your Instagram bio. Check out my Instagram, guys, if you're watching this on Instagram, and it'll tell you exactly how to set this up. The next thing, map your 3 to 5 step framework. You could bullshit this from the start, guys, but whatever you want to teach, just kind of word it in a way or structure in a way where it sounds like your unique method. It doesn't have to have a cool acronym name. It does help though, but kind of tailor it to your thing. Use the 3x3 model, so cohort plus bonus deliverables. We talked about that up here. So 3 core deliverables like calls, templates, and access. 3 bonus assets like audits, libraries, and community. Kind of do the best delivery of your service in a clear way where it's not like overloading them or feeling like you're packing it. Price using the 10% of ROI. So like whatever the outcome is, give them 10% of that as value and let them keep that. And again, the higher or lower they are on this Maslow's hierarchy, the higher the value can be because it's a more primal need and they're going to want to pay more for that. It's going to be more transformative. Build 3 tiers with a clear outcome at each level. Again, they can be decoy tiers too. These aren't like decoys, right? Each tier has a purpose and hours, but when you're getting started, right, like our inner circle wasn't filled at all. And so this was just here. We mainly just wanted the agency and then these two. But the inner circle then is since filled up and it's just the coaching, right? It's not implementation, but people just wanted the coaching. And now we have a whole community built around that as well. And a network as well, just in this private level community. So build 3 tiers, guys. I would at least have a couple offers so they have something to compare against. You don't want them to compare against other coaches. That's the big point. If you don't give them another price point to compare it to, they're going to find something of their own to compare it to, and you're not going to like what they use. I've seen that happen so many times. Present your offer in a WAP or Notion sales page. I would just recommend like the WAP dashboard here, and then test it in DMs, YouTube, or email. Again, let's go back to the 80% rule. If 80% say yes, then raise it. If 80% say no, then refine your messaging or lower the pricing to match. And that's it, guys. Remember, people don't buy coaching, they buy confidence, they buy shortcuts, and they buy the outcome, not your like 6, weeks of coaching, right? So make it very clear what the outcome is, and then how you do it is what makes your method unique. Okay, but that's not what you sell. You sell the outcome. Use these rules, these formulas, and the research to show them exactly what they're getting and make it irresistible. That said, let's get after it. These are all the sources. You guys know exactly how I'm credible. I've done hours of research. I'm very credible. I have plenty of clients here in the space across multiple niches to tell you guys exactly what I'm doing. I have testimonials if you guys want to see that too, but I can't really show you guys much more than I am here. Obviously, I have a whole community built up around this, so I don't know what else you want to see, but hopefully that did it for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna post this video on YouTube when it gets trimmed down and cleaned out. If you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe or follow my account, and you're going to see more demos or things like that in there. Otherwise, feel free to come back on Thursday when we actually walk through these things live and implement these. And I give you guys real world examples about how it could apply. I can even answer your questions and tailor it to you as well. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and end the live here. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you on Thursday.